What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. What's worse, Love is Blind or the Dallas Cowboys trading for Mike Thomas?
Love is Blind.
Because
Love is blind.
there are rumors, given Brandon Cooks, it's just funny, Brandon Cooks doing whatever Brandon Cooks does, which is, I guess, being like okay, but like never good enough for anybody to ever really fall in love with him.
He had a good season.
Yeah, well, he always does.
Yeah.
When has Brandon Cooks ever had a bad season?
But then he's like never on a team longer than like 2 years.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like nobody, everybody likes him. Nobody loves him. Gallup, not, what he come back
Gallup's
from injury.
good when he plays. He's just hurt all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So the
All those
Saints,
receivers are back, though, like the number of free agents.
Yeah.
So the Saints, obviously, we talked about the other day. I was under the impression Mike Thomas was a free agent and last year was a one-year deal. I am wrong. They are still very much on the books for Mike Thomas's next year, and he has made the situation untenable, right? I mean, can you really bring him back where he's talking about Derek Carr like throwing him into getting hurt and how basically like everything was the quarterback's fault, and obviously the Saints are all in on Derek Carr. Do you trade Michael Thomas to the Cowboys?
If you feel really strong about Olave and Shaheed and some of your other weapons, then you can. You can move on from Mike Thomas, and that's $10 million, in the future that can go elsewhere. If you don't, then maybe it's a different conversation. But I think that they do. I think that when you look at Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry had a couple of nice moments at the end of the season, then you move on because of what you said. Now, this isn't just like what I would do, but when you look at what the Saints are doing, they're going to do whatever's best for Derek Carr. And for Derek Carr, he's got a receiver that has put on Twitter multiple times just what he thinks of Derek Carr. And so for that reason, I think the Saints are going to make a move. I don't know what the value is. The value's not great for Mike Thomas. You're going to get a very late round draft choice probably in return. I would rather have Mike Thomas on the field and figure a way. Your grown adults figured out, learn how to be teammates. But I just feel like the Saints are showing you every time they make a move, it's for Derek Carr.
Well, and unfortunately, if you're someone, or I don't know, whatever, I won't attach a fortunate or unfortunate, but the money aspect of it does make the Mike Thomas situation more complicated. Right now, he would involve, if you were to trade him pre-June 1st, he would invoke an $18.18 million cap hit for the New Orleans Saints. Now, you could designate him as a post-June 1st transaction, but that money then is still $9 million. And that becomes a very real question, right? Is the drama bad enough with Mike Thomas and whatever draft pick, mid, late round or whatever kind of okay player that you would get in return, is it worth it? Like, has he really made himself so untenable in that locker room that you would be willing to not just eat that dead money, but probably not get equal kind of value player-wise in return just to get him out of there? That feels that $9 million. I mean, you could restructure the contract. And then trade him potentially, but then again, whoever he's going to be traded to, well, that's obviously not going to be as attractive to them because they're saying, okay, wait, so hold on. So you want me to take like a problem off of your hands, a malcontent, and you want me to be on the hook money-wise? So there's a lot that would still have to go into this, but it's just very interesting to watch these two things coming to a head right now with Michael Thomas and how he feels about the Saints versus how the Saints are kind of financially committed to him in a lot of ways.
I don't necessarily think that Mike Thomas is a huge issue in the locker room. I think the locker room has its own issues because we've seen those things play out. Like we've heard from some of their leaders. And when Jameis Winston decided that he wanted Jamal Williams to get a touchdown, like it really just started to come to light. Like now we all see some of the issues that are going on in that locker room. Like, you have players and coaches that aren't on the same page. And I was in the players' corner in this argument the entire time, and I still am. They've got to figure all of that out, because I don't think it's a Mike Thomas with other players situation outside of maybe Derek Carr. It's, Mike Thomas and maybe coaches and front office members, I guess. But I don't think in the locker room that's an issue. They just got to figure out how, if they're going to bring him back because of the reasons you just said, how that plays out with this quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Cam Jordan, who is the most highly regarded leader that the Saints have had, right? Outside of like Drew Brees in this run that the Saints have had, with some strong comments, about apologizing to the Falcons and what he would have done if he was the coach against the Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you're right. Maybe you just got to suck it up, and it's best for all parties if you just try to heal it. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.